Friday's Eve. I had a hot take on my Facebook page. Yes, I did. I'll be honest, me neither, but no. He's fixing that, Kate. We were talking about the Snyder Cut of Justice League, and my hot take that why would I want to watch a longer version of a bad movie?
For real. All right, everybody. Kate, can you hear me? Am I doing better? Kate, superfan and audio technician for the EFG show. Thank you, Kate, because I would have just kept going. Great. So, let's just start over. My name is Stephen Dutzman. I am the editor-in-chief of EngageFamilyGaming.com. This is Jeff Walker from the Frozen North. He is one of the community managers for EngageFamilyGaming.com. This is the EFG show. It is Friday Eve, and we celebrate by coming together to talk about all of the cool family gaming news that you could ever possibly want and more. And normally, while we wait for people to pop into the chat, we talk about wrestling. But I wanted to talk about the Snyder Cut because that's like a really big piece of pop culture news that I think is really interesting. In that, let's see, I haven't seen it either. I have not seen Justice League. And so I've decided, now that the Snyder Cut is going to be a thing, like I really don't particularly care about these movies. Like I'm happy they exist. I'm happy that they make some people happy. I'm sad that they make some people sad. Whatever. That's like where I sit. But now, in one day, when everything is out, I'm going to spend the morning watching the first one. Then I'm going to eat some lunch. And then I'm going to spend the afternoon watching the other one. And then I'm going to be like fully educated and be able to speak very clearly about what the differences are. It's going to be great. I cannot wait. It has nothing to do with EFG. It's more about just me as a jerk on the internet. I want to be educated on the Justice League. Also, Wonder Woman is in it. And I will watch Wonder Woman make beef stroganoff. Like, I would just watch her do anything. I just don't care. It's fine. So, Jeff, it is Thursday.
It is.
This is the EFG show. We thought it was a light week, and then we actually went looking because we did our jobs, and turns out there's a bunch of stuff to talk about. Before we get into your release list, which, as you know, is one of your primary roles as far as content creation on the site, you put together a list of the family-friendly releases. You put it on our Facebook page every Sunday, and then it gets turned into an article that is posted in the beginning of the week on the blog. But before we do that, I would like to give just a quick heads up to everybody that at some point between now and the end of the show, we will be giving away a game on Steam. Specifically, we will be giving away a copy of Patchwork for Steam. So stick around, because there will come a point where I will be giving away a game, and I would love to do that. So, Jeff, you worked hard on this release list. So why don't you start us off, as we always do every Thursday. Tell me what video games are coming out this week.
I will do that, and I will definitely say this week's a little light. There was a lot of rated M games coming out this week. 3 of them I thought was important to put down in the games for grown-ups. but there were a ton more that I did not include in the release list.
Okay.
But so starting off on Tuesday, May 19th, we had Golf with Your Friends for PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. You can also now play this game on Xbox Game Pass. I saw them tweet out that this is available on.
And I actually played it and talked about it on this week's episode of the Engaged Family Gaming Podcast that I recorded with Amanda yesterday. Spoiler alert, I liked it quite a bit.
I might have to give it a try. And then also coming out on Tuesday, we had the Wonderful 101 remastered for PS4 and Switch. Also on PC. I will give a little caveat to this. This is only the digital edition. They had to push back the physical versions of this game. So if you were looking to get it physically, those will be coming June 30th. But at least they didn't push back the whole game, and they decided to still release it digitally for people who want to get it now.
Normal people. I'm just giving you crap. It's okay. Go ahead.
On Wednesday, May 20th, I have a game called Cannibal Cuisine. I was going to mention Kate because she says she likes cooking simulators, so...
That seems a little... maybe that's a little outside of her realm, but that's fine. All right, and what's next?
And then Thursday, today, May 21st, we had Aqua Lungers for Switch, Arrest of a Stone Buddha for Switch, Fluxteria for Switch, Lost Artifacts Time Machine for Switch, Pushy and Pulley in Blockland for Switch, Red Wings Aces of the Sky for Switch, and What the Golf for Switch.
I want to talk about two of those games.
Okay, I figured you'd want to talk about What the Golf, which we both have played.
Yeah, What the Golf is great. It was originally released on mobile. It was one of the launch titles on Apple Arcade. But the fact that it's on Switch now, this is a great game. It's really weird. I'm not going to talk a lot about it. It's a golf game that's not a golf game. And I definitely think people that like really silly games need to give it a shot. Again, I can't talk about it because I'll ruin it. But it is very funny. It is very funny.
Yes. I played it as well when it was on Apple Arcade, and I loved it.
So, friend of the show, Jason DeApril, who is a part of the EFG community, is also very active on the Engaged Family Gaming Discord. So if you are interested in that, you can go head on over to engagedfamilygaming.com/Discord, and you will get that. He actually has played Aqua Lungers. He is a freelance video game writer for a number of other sites, and he got a code for Aqua Lungers, and he and his kids really liked it. It's a multiplayer kind of underwater Castle Crashers-esque kind of experience from what I can understand. It sounds fun. They offered me a code. I did not take it because I didn't think we were going to have time to review it, but this looks like a fun time. Carry on.
All right. And then on May 22nd, tomorrow, we have Animal Up on Switch, Concept Destruction on Switch, Soko Bunny on Xbox One, and then, all right, I'm going to try to say this, Sword Art Online Alicization Lycoris Month 1 Edition for Xbox One.
Sure.
And then a few games for the grown-ups. Wasteland 3 for PS4 and Xbox One came out on Tuesday.
Wow,
and then
really?
coming out... What was that?
I said, wow, really? It just blows my mind that game actually came out. Carry on.
And then Man-Eater on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch comes out tomorrow. And then Saints Row, the third remaster for PS4, Xbox, and Xbox One. I think Man-Eater was announced in one of the indie showcases Nintendo did.
Man-Eater Man-Eater is an action RPG where you play a shark.
Yeah, it looked cool. Not family friendly. It is rated M. I'm gonna guess for violence. But it looked really cool on the videos Nintendo shared.
Yeah. I mean, of course it was going to be rated M. You're a shark that eats people, but I am intrigued at the very least. And Rachel, one of our other Discord members, very excited about Manhunter. So yeah, that's the games coming out this week. What's your pick of the week?
So, since I've already played What the Golf, I decided to go with the Wonderful 101 Remastered. I have not played that one. I have it pre-ordered, of course, the physical edition, so I will not play it till the end of June. But I'm looking really... It comes out a couple weeks before Paper Mario, but it seems like the perfect length of a game to play for those couple weeks.
Sure.
And plus, I love Platinum Games. Like,
All right.
they do great things.
They do some wacky stuff, and that game is definitely wacky. My pick of the week, What the Golf. No questions, it's What the Golf. I think that is a must-play for everyone that owns a Nintendo Switch. Because it is really stupid. I mean, unless you really don't like stupid games, but it is really good. And I know Evan would also... he finished that game on mobile, and he doesn't finish a lot of games, but he was hungry to finish that thing. So yeah, that's my pick. What the Golf and Wonderful 101, two very good choices. Very exciting. All right, so let's get to a new segment.
A new segment. I'm excited about this one.
So everybody that's watching, here's what we are going to do, and this is something that y'all can play along with us. Every week, the two of us are going to play another game that is included as part of the NES or SNES collections on Switch Online. So we are going to both play the same game. We're going to play it for at least an hour, if not more. Here's the reason why we kept it limited. Some of those games are not great. We're both adults. We don't have an infinity time. So we're going to keep it to, we want to play enough during a given week so that we can talk about it. And then over time, we will build a definitive ranking for those. So what we are going to do is we will talk about the game, and then we will decide where in the ranking of games we have played it falls first. Which means, you guessed it, the game that we talk about today will be number one on the list by default until next week. And then we will decide what happens next. And so we are going to alternate choosing games. Occasionally we will involve the audience. So if any of you have suggestions, you feel free to shout them out. This week, Jeff made the call. Let him choose the first one, and he chose Eliminator Boat Duel.
And let me say, if it feels like it chose a weird one for the first one, it's because we decided we were not going to choose a mainstream game.
Exactly. I said
we weren't going to choose Super.
I was almost ready to choose Super nobody Mario that's World. In Smash. Well, that's it. The way we said this is you have to choose a game, and we're going to do this for the first couple of weeks at least. If the character in the game is in Smash, you may not play. Eventually we're going to play Link to the Past and, all this stuff, right? Like, we're eventually going to get there. But to keep things interesting, we wanted to pick some really crazy stuff. And so we played Eliminator Boat Duel. I played it for an hour or so. What's crazy, it's kind of an arcade game. So that's the other thing with a lot of these Nintendo games, especially the older ones, they're arcade games. So you really don't have to play forever to really get a grasp of it because, I played a couple of quarters. Jeff, this was your choice. You take the lead. What did you think of your time with Eliminator Boat Duel?
So, I will say, going in, I wasn't expecting much. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I was like... so, going in, when I started playing it, it kind of makes me think of if you've ever played the game Super Off-Road on SNES.
Of course I have.
That's one of my favorite SNES games. It's kind of like that game with boats and less tracks.
Okay.
But the thing I had problems with is I don't know why it switched between behind your boat view to an isometric view.
Mm-hmm.
So it would switch randomly during the race. It would also... They didn't explain the rules, and I didn't realize if I hit A too early, I had a false start, and then they fined me $2,000.
Yeah, don't do that. You gotta be careful.
Did you run into the same issue?
Oh, initially, yes, and then I learned to play. I got good.
Yeah.
is what happened.
You got good, but yeah. So it's an arcade game. You race against. You can choose your difficulty: easy, medium, or expert. Each one has a different character you race again. I guess. According to the Wikipedia page, there are characters after the expert mode. Never got that far. I couldn't beat the medium guy. I beat the easy guy, though.
You gotta get good then.
Sydney. I beat C6 Sydney.
All right, that's fair.
But
So I'm with you. When I first turned this on, I was like, oh. This is not great. And then the more I played it, I was like, you know what? Okay. The important thing to note is that it is a 1v1 boat racing game where you are racing through, and one of the ways that they make it kind of interesting is that you play through, all the courses play through different game modes. So like there's one that is the opening, which is just a straight drag race. Did you time your acceleration? Are you holding the acceleration down? And, you can get pretty good at that. Then there is a very loose, kind of, top-down racing across a map, and it's lots of taking turns and dodging obstacles and, using your boosts at the right time. One thing that's interesting is your boost is a jump, so you can use it to, like, get over your enemies. And then they have another one that is from behind, so it's kind of like racing in, like, off-road and things like that. And really, again, the idea is to, kind of get in front of your opponent and avoid obstacles so that you can stay in front of them, and collect boost power-ups so that you can use them to stay ahead. And the way that they kept some of the races interesting is they mix up these different racing mechanics. So, for example, one of the races, and I don't know if you saw it, is just a drag race. It's just straight across. And, there are some others where they mix it up and you go back and forth. I thought that was as interesting as could be, right? I thought it was neat.
Yeah.
Some of the environments were kind of, interesting. There was like racing on the open ocean versus there were like sharks and stuff versus racing on like the bayou, some kind of wetlands. And so it's one of the NES games, Kate. So this is for a game that is included as part of Nintendo Switch Online. I think when the dust clears, this is probably still going to be in like the bottom third, but I don't think it's going to be towards the bottom of that. This is definitely not the worst game on the service.
No,
I enjoyed it for what it was. In between races, you earn money. You can upgrade your boat.
Yeah, and that was one part where it really made me think of Super Off-Road, because that was one of the things you could do during Super Off-Road is upgrade.
Yeah.
Between races. And
absolutely.
I mean, I didn't hate my time playing it.
No, me.
Was it hard to keep playing it instead of going back to Dragon Quest? Yes, but I didn't hate my time.
But you had work to do, because that's what we're here for. So, no, I'm with you. I get what you're saying. It is, we got to make the decision. We're crowning it number one right now. We're
crowning it number one. No arguments here.
We can't argue. Now, next week it could get weird. And we'll decide what we're going to play later on. But it is,
is that how I was going to make you decide on the spot?
So that decide now. I'm going to decide now. Fine. We're gonna play City Connection.
City Connection.
That's our next game next week. City Connection.
Okay.
Fun fact with City Connection, I actually have played this game before and love it. I actually have my cartridge downstairs. It was made by Jaleco, and Jaleco on the NES, all of the cartridges say Jaleco across the top. They don't say the name of the game. And for the longest time, we were absolutely convinced that Jaleco must have meant like City Connection in some other language. So we called it Jaleco.
Yeah, they do. And it's really annoying when you're trying to alphabetize your games and it goes and it says Jaleco, but you're like, no, that space is loaded.
Yep, I know. So City Connection is a game where you are a car driving around the world, and you have paint cans in your trunk, and you're leaving paint trails, and the idea is to cover up all the roads before the cops get you. It's not a GTA clone, trust me. I cannot wait to talk about this one next week.
I mean, it can't be a GTA clone if it came out before GTA.
It was a joke, Jeff. There's this thing called humor. You may have heard of it. But yeah, I mean, it'll be a fun little trip there. So yeah, that's the next game we're gonna play. We're gonna play City Connection.
All right.
Get ready. I still have the music like stuck in my head. So that's what we're gonna do. I think the rule I'm gonna set down, with the blessing of the audience, is I think we should play like at least 5 games before we include a character with that's in Smash.
That's good. I already know my game pick for next week, so.
All right, so we will. Well, let's keep that under wraps. But let's play 5 games. We're gonna do this every week. Let's play 5 games, and then at that point, we will. Then all bets are off. We will start playing anything we want. We can pick down the list. We'll do a poll maybe sometimes. We'll keep it interesting. But everybody, if you want to play along with us and you have Nintendo Switch Online, excuse me, play City Connection with us and then be ready to talk with us next week. Cannot wait to hear what you guys think about it too, because I absolutely love that game and it's going to be super fun. So that's our new feature. I do want to remind everybody that's watching, later on in the show, we are giving away a game on Steam. So if you would like a copy of Patchwork, which is a board game, the digital version on Steam, make sure you stick around, because at some point in the next half hour or so, I'm going to go ahead and just randomly give it away to somebody in the audience. So let's talk about the news. There's been some interesting stuff going on.
Yep.
The first one, though, this is kind of the headline for the whole show. Holy crap. Minecraft has sold 200 million units.
That's a lot. Does that make it? That makes it the most sold game of all time, doesn't it? Or it has been?
No, I don't think so.
Or
let's check.
Or is Tetris still up there?
Well, let me bring it up. I should have checked. All right. So the best-selling games of all time.
Yeah, it's number one. Minecraft, 200 million.
Yeah, that's it. It's at
the top. Then Grand Theft Auto 5 with 130 million, Tetris with 100 million, and then Wii Sports with 82,900,000.
Man. So 200 million. Here's what's also interesting. 20 million of those sales have come in the last year for Minecraft. And another set of interesting facts, 126 million monthly users, which is a very important statistic for Microsoft, because they really care more about building an ecosystem and having people consistently playing their games. I think Microsoft has gotten their money worth after buying Mojang to own the Minecraft name. What do you think?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, they definitely got their money's worth. What's crazy about this game is I see no sign of it slowing down. This is one of those games that is going to defy generations. They're finding ways to make it bigger and cooler still. The Minecraft team shares a building with 343 Studios. Like, they're in the same area. So, they're still a vibrant team that is doing stuff. It is a big team. They're still putting out updates. Some of the ray tracing stuff that they can do that's going to be available on Xbox Series X looks amazing. You wouldn't think that Minecraft is a game that could look better, but it absolutely looks great. And yeah, I don't see any sign of this. And we have Minecraft Dungeons coming out next week, which is only going to enhance the brand, right? Like, this is just another way for kids to get into Minecraft. I would not be surprised if there's a whole bunch of kids out there that fell off regular Minecraft, but they're going to get they're going to get Minecraft Dungeons somehow, be it on Game Pass or whatever, and play it, and then be like, you know what, let me get back to the old school and play Minecraft. And you have never played it.
I have not, though I am one of those 200 million, because it did come up with my Xbox One.
Listen, Minecraft is so cool. And like Kate said, she says the fact that 60% of the games that were sold are still being played. Yeah, man. It's crazy. There's a whole generation of kids where that is their game. And, when I think about the fact that for me, right, like, I grew up playing, SNES games, right? Like, this is their Link to the Past, and this is their Mega Man X, and this is their Super Mario World. And I am excited to see what they create when they get there. Kate, I think you would actually kind of enjoy some of the Lego aspect of it. 'Cause, man, it is pretty interesting. I have not played a ton, but I've played a little bit, and I've dabbled, mostly just to get made fun of by my kids when I do things wrong, because I never do anything right in Minecraft, and they have very specific, requirements for what would make me, a skilled player, but whatever. So, yeah, it's Minecraft. 200 million sales.
And it's only going to go up because, I mean, you have PS5 and Xbox Series
Mm-hmm.
X coming out, and you're silly if you think that Minecraft isn't coming out on those systems.
Oh, I mean, Minecraft is definitely going to come out on the systems.
Yeah.
And also, every day, a whole bunch of kids turn 8, right? Like,
Yeah.
and Minecraft is so on everybody's mind. You know, they're every day kids age into this game, and it doesn't leave the culture. Like, it's so important. It's just kind of what you do. Oh, when you're a kid, you play Minecraft for a little bit. Some kids play and bounce off, right? Some kids play, and it's their jam. So this is going to be, yeah, you're right. It's never going away at this point. Can't wait to see what it's like in 10 years when kids who were playing it when they were kids are now old enough to like work for Mojang and help make it. It's going to be so wild. So great news for Minecraft. Speaking of games that kids can play where they can learn and do some stuff, bad news for Kerbal Space Program fans, because Kerbal Space Program 2, which was supposed to come out sometime this year, under attack by the Fire Nation, they have delayed until fall of 2021, which is a pretty significant delay.
That's a big delay.
So obviously their workflow was shattered when they ended up having to leave their office and head home. But I'm going to be real with you. I think they can just take all the time they want. Because Kerbal Space Program 2, which I talked to Amanda about this yesterday on the EFG podcast. She's played it and she's talked to that team, and their whole goal is to take the game and make it more accessible, right? And so, oh, good night, Maggie. It's bedtime, I guess. Yep, it's definitely why. It's even late bedtime, but what are you gonna do? I don't know. It's what do you do, right? Like nothing makes any sense anymore. So the goal is to take all the science-based gameplay, make it more accessible. If that's what they're actually gonna do, take all the time in the world, right? Did you ever play any Kerbal?
I did not, because it was a PC game, and I don't really play PC games a lot. Though I have watched gameplay of it, and it's a game I've always wanted to try.
I tried it once and was terrible. So I'm very much looking forward to them taking the lessons learned from the first one and playing the second one and building a rocket ship and hopefully not crashing.
Yeah, it looked like the premise was really good, and I know it got... So I'm hoping, they can learn from their mistakes and get better, and maybe release it on some consoles this time around, give more people a chance to...
Pretty sure it's coming to Xbox.
Xbox? Okay.
Pretty sure. So I would presume it would come elsewhere, because it's published by Private Division, which is part of 2K. So it's going to be everywhere that they can put it. So that'll be exciting. How about you told me, this is something I had not heard about until you showed me. What's with this Wholesome Direct? Tell me all about that.
Let me pull up. So, Wholesome Games, not really sure who they are, but I learned through the Twitter.
Yep.
It says, join Wholesome Games on May 26th at 1 p.m. Eastern for the first ever Wholesome Direct live on YouTube. We'll have exclusive footage, developer interviews, and announcements from over 50 Wholesome indie games.
Pretty much
so,
right
yeah.
in the wheelhouse.
Right? Yeah. I mean, nothing says Engage Family Gaming like the word wholesome.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. At least we know we're getting some news next week.
Yeah, next week, just expect lots of news and discussion from the Wholesome Direct. The only problem is I'm really sad that it's in the middle of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I really wish it was like at 4 so I could not have to, because I have to work. So we'll figure it out. I mean, the good news is I'm sure they're going to publish it VOD. So, I can just watch it when I get out of work. So it's not like the world is going to end. It's just, boo. And we don't have any spoilers on this, but you played a video, and just even the music is like, okay,
yeah.
this is going to be fun.
And it, like all the games look, Like, I'm looking at it right now. They look, I mean, wholesome. That's the word to describe it.
Yeah.
Like, they look like my art style that I love. I can't wait to see what is going to be announced.
Yeah, agreed. I'm bringing up the art myself because I'm curious as to what the whole deal is. Rock Paper Shotgun did a whole article about it. So let's see if they have any. Oh, we got Spiritfarer is going to be in there. Okay. Okay, here we go. So we got exclusive footage announcements from Ooblets, Spiritfarer, Skatebird, Little Witch in the Woods, Garden Story, Chicory, Rainy Season, and more. Let me tell you, folks, okay, if we're getting a video, if we are getting some kind of like a big announcement pool that includes, literally, if it was just Ooblets, Spiritfarer, and Skatebird, I'm all in right there. Like, if that was all that was in here, I'd be like, give me 2 straight hours of this shenanigans right now. Oh boy, now that I looked at the game list, I am absolutely losing my mind. We get to hear more about Ooblets. Ooblets, by the way, is a farming simulator / monster catching, because you're like growing monsters in vegetables, and then you go around town, you battle people, but you have dance battles. That's it.
Sounds fun.
Everything I just said is 100% true. This is going to be, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You know what? I am so excited. I think it's time to give away a game. So here is what I would like to do. So I know that there are a handful of people watching the show. And so what I would like you to do, if you are watching the show, is I am thinking of a number between 1 and 20. I would like you to enter by telling me what number you think that I am thinking of, and if you get it, if whoever is closest, I'm being very non-scientific. Whoever is the closest, I will send you a direct message with the code, or we'll work something else out. So, again, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 20. And we will wait for a moment, give everybody that's watching a chance to enter. We got 1. So, number between 1 and 20. Whoever is closest gets a code for Patchwork on Steam. So, we got 2 people, 2 regular viewers. Very excited to see you guys. If you keep watching, we're going to give away a game every week. So, pretty sure both of you guys will. We will be padding your Steam libraries, I'm sure, over the upcoming weeks.
Tell your friends to join us.
Yeah, tell your friends to join us. They can join. I'm just saying. So, all right. So we got our entries. The number that I had chosen. Do we have another one? The number that I chose was 17. Closest person was Kate. Kate, you win. I will send you a private message with the code for your game to play on Steam. And once again, it is Patchwork. And that is it's a 2-player board game. It's a quilting game. You can play against the AI, but you can also you can also, play like hot seat multiplayer. I think there's online with it too. Very cute. The physical version, my daughter plays. So, yeah. So so we did our giveaway, and we gave away a prize. Let's talk about Overwatch. Would you believe me if I told you, Jeff, that Overwatch has been out for 4 years?
4 years, it does not. I mean, time seems to be standing still, so 4 years feels like April, but
yeah, so 4 years ago. In May of 2016 was the release for Overwatch, and it feels like Overwatch came out and the world was never the same. And so every year in May, they do the Overwatch Anniversary Event. It's a big deal. They add new skins. They add all sorts of new stuff. So if you were an Overwatch fan, or if you're an Overwatch fan that maybe doesn't play all that often, I would encourage you, this is a 3-week-long event. I encourage you to hop in now. They have, there's some unique skins that you can't get outside of this event. And so it's a good time to just hop in, play stuff. They feature, if you go into the arcade, they have all of the events will be playable over the arcade mode over the course of it. My oldest son was playing the Winter Brawl, which is a snowball fight. So this is one of those things that you just check in and you play. I know some people that only play during the, this 3-week period, and maybe Halloween, right, just to get some of those skins. If that's what you're all about, do it. Overwatch is a really good video game, man. And we're getting ready for Overwatch 2,
Yes,
yeah.
I never got into the original Overwatch, but once they announced Overwatch 2, I don't know. I feel like that might be a good time to jump in, hopefully.
Maybe. It's going to have single player. It's going to have story mode, so... Listen, I think Overwatch is a great game. I think one of the things... Overwatch was our game of the year in 2016. And the reason I love Overwatch as much as I do is, number one, from a tactical perspective, it's great. From a gameplay perspective, it is amazing. The characters are cool. The cast is inclusive. But the thing I really like about it is a T-rated shooter that provides a real... it provides a real alternative for parents who want to say yes, right? Like, there's so many of us that our kids just want to play everything, and they want to play a multiplayer shooter with their kids. Now, admittedly, Overwatch came before Fortnite, right? So this is before Fortnite. So you wanted something to be like, hey, you know what? You want to, play Army Man with your kids, with your boys or your girls out in the back. Fine. Here's a digital game to do that, and you can do it without having to play Call of Duty or Battlefield, right? Like, it was a cool alternative, and it was good, and it wasn't like, quote-unquote, a baby game, right? Because a lot of the alternatives are just not great. Now we have Fortnite. So Fortnite and Overwatch and Splatoon kind of are these games that provide these really cool alternatives. And, man, Overwatch, I'm so excited that it is good and that it is still around. The new hero they added, Echo, is really cool design-wise. So, yeah, Overwatch event. If you've never played Overwatch, it is so accessible. You can hop in and, learn the game relatively quickly. The matches are fast. I can't say enough. Overwatch, super great. Super great. So now we're done with Overwatch. Let's talk about Civilization 6. Civilization 6 right now. I just gave away a free game to somebody, but consolation prize, anyone with a PC can download the Epic Game Store and download Civilization 6 for free right now. Last week, they gave away GTA 5. Not so much for us. That wasn't, not for us. But Civilization 6, that's for us. What do you think, Jeff?
Are you this may guy? Actually get... I have not played Civilizations for a very long time, but I have been very close multiple times of buying Civilization 6 on my Switch. Just never gotten around to it. Mm-hmm. So... I may have to just go into the Epic Games Store and download it for free, though I do not have an Epic Games account, so I'll have to get one of those first.
You may as well do that. I would encourage you to do so. It's Civilization 6 for free. Admittedly, it's a great tactical move. They give it to you. They have a bunch of DLC that you can buy, and they have a new Frontier pack. And we talked about this in detail actually on the Engage Family Gaming podcast that's going live tomorrow. But yeah, Civ 6, really cool, and lots of diverse cultures in there. So these games are not going to teach you about history. Civilization is kind of more about experiencing what history has to offer, to be like, hey, who is this dude that keeps nuking me? And why is Gandhi the guy doing it? And then you can be like, who is this guy? And then you can go, read up on them or learn about them. Amanda Farrow is making a YouTube series where she is playing through Civilization 6. What she's doing is she's actually playing through it and making YouTube videos where her and, her compatriot are talking about the different nations that they're interacting with. So kind of teaching a history lesson. They're calling it Reckon History. And that is super fun. Yeah, Civ has great historical quotes. The thing about Civ is that it's all about tangential learning, right? The idea that it itself doesn't really teach you a huge amount other than, the name of a leader that's associated with a country or a culture, which I guess is something. But it really gives you a lot of these nuggets, like really interesting nuggets. And you may say, you know what? I want to know more about this guy from Russia or this guy from Africa or whatever. And then you can go learn more about them. And so, super recommend. I love Civ games. I am terrible at them, but that's okay. I'm terrible at all games. And I think this is one of those games that I think everybody should take a look at. Man, you have to be really tactically and strategic. You know, every game is a puzzle that is ever evolving, and I think that's important for people to give it a shot. You never know, right? Like, it's a slow game. Also, it is a game that you can get up in the middle of a turn and walk away. So if you and your family are struggling with the Fortnite and the Minecraft server and the Overwatch, and the game is always going and you can never stop, because they don't have pause buttons. Civilization is a turn-based game, so it is always paused. So that's the good news. If you can get everybody playing Civ, then you at the very least can pause your game. Kate's saying her record was 38 hours straight. Kate, that is much Civilization. Like, you played like a geological age worth of a game. I also really love long, obnoxious, epic games of Civ. I always go into the settings, go for the biggest map, go for the longest game time. I want all of it because I don't want to play Blitzkrieg Civilization. I want to savor it and get to know my opponents and do really dumb things because I'm never gonna win. So I just want to enjoy the middle of it. So that's Civ 6. It's free. Let's see. Allison says she likes the. Allison says she likes the concept of a turn-based game, so she'll have to try it out. Thanks for the suggestion. You are welcome, Allison. It also has hot seat multiplayer. Because I know, Allison, my understanding is you got a couple people that are watching with you. One of the things that's cool about Civilization is you can do multiplayer, but on the same computer. So it's like hot seat multiplayer. Cool. So that's one of the things, as the boys get older, like my wife and I have always dreamed about having a big multiplayer game that just plays out over the course of a weekend. And we all just kind of run around and rotate through our turns. Because that sounds like it would be entertaining to us at least. Excuse me. And my wife and I have done it just ourselves before, and it's pretty fun. So, yeah, it is Civ 6. I am hyped for it. The new expansions, one of them added climate change and, some really cool stuff. The new Frontier Pass is adding a whole bunch of new leaders and new game modes, including an apocalypse mode. It has a battle royale. Yes, it has a battle royale, but what it is it starts at the very, very end of the game, and so it's basically just a different kind of game. It's interesting. So, yeah, Civ 6, man, I want to play Civ right now. All right, let's get the show over with so I can play Civilization. Just kidding.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. I pulled it up on Amazon for the Switch.
It's $15.
It's $15. I may have to buy it. I have $15 in Amazon rewards points.
Yeah, so here's the thing, though. It is worth mentioning. It is a different experience on Switch only because you're playing it with a controller. It really is meant to be played with a mouse and keyboard, but it is still cool on Switch. So, yeah, for $15, it is definitely worth $15. So, speaking of kind of old games, which is really kind of the theme for tonight, there's another Splatfest this weekend.
Yeah, they're bringing one back after taking almost a year off.
So tell me all about the Splatfest for Splatoon 2.
So they are bringing back. Actually, I'll read it straight from Nintendo's announcement. It says, "Off the hook. Get ready for an encore Splatfest." That's what they're calling it, an encore Splatfest. Off the Hook is coming back for an encore, and all Inklings and Octolings are invited to attend. That's right, it's time to get ready for a bonus Splatfest. It will be from tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific time, so 6 p.m. Eastern, to 3 p.m., 6 p.m. on Sunday. Uh,
Yep.
It says fans of Splatoon 2 game may recognize the theme of this one because we're ink diving all the way back to the very first Splatfest theme for Splatoon. Which do you prefer, Mayo or Ketchup?
Yes, they are. And I'm over here like barbecue sauce. Be like, what's up? This is my only problem with this one is that I rarely prefer either of them. Those are ingredient. Ketchup. I actually, mayonnaise is a ingredient for me. Ketchup, I really try to avoid. I didn't realize that it's basically just sugar. I didn't know until I started paying attention. But listen, what side are you on, Jeff? I'm on team mayonnaise.
I'm on team ketchup. I love ketchup. Growing up, my mom always told me she needs to get me a shirt that says I put ketchup on my ketchup.
I'm sure that shirt exists.
I'm sure it does too. I've met many a kid that way, and I have. But I'm with you though. I do like me some barbecue sauce, some good barbecue sauce. And on the mayonnaise side of things, no, it's Miracle Whip. Miracle Whip over mayonnaise any day.
Is that a Midwest thing?
I don't know.
Miracle Whip over mayonnaise. I mean, I could rock some Miracle Whip. I'm not gonna lie. It's just I never have it in my house.
It depends on what you grew up with. So, for example, I grew up with Miracle Whip. My wife grew up with mayonnaise. So we usually have both in the house at one time.
That's fair.
When it comes to Easter, we have to make deviled eggs using both because I won't eat them with mayonnaise and her family won't eat them with Miracle Whip.
Huh. All right. Well, Kate is on your side. Which maybe that makes it Kate. I mean, does that make it a Midwest thing? Because like Kate rocks some Midwest stuff, to my understanding. Maybe I'm confused. Listen, I actually will enjoy a Miracle Whip on my sandwich. I'm not gonna hate. I mean, it's just to me. I'm weird though. I don't have a sense of smell, so like everything is off to me. But
so mayonnaise and Miracle Whip probably taste exactly the same to you.
No, because it's texture. Because it's a texture thing to me. Miracle Whip is way smoother, right? Like it's. I don't know how to describe it, right? Like, well, you've seen it. You scoop it out. Like Miracle Whip is smoother.
Mayonnaise can look chunky.
Yeah, just because that's I mean, it's
how it is.
Oil like whipped up. Like I am not grossed out by mayonnaise. By like some people
Whip
are.
Has a sweeter, tangier taste to it.
Yeah, right. Like it bites me.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Massachusetts.
She is nowhere near the Midwest.
Nowhere near the Midwest. I don't know what. I don't know why I keep thinking that you were from the Midwest, Kate. I don't know. I know that you. Let's see here. All right, so it tastes more like salad dressing. I mean, that is factually correct. I don't know.
But yes, it might be a Midwest thing.
Of the choices we have, you're team ketchup.
I'm team ketchup. Yes, I will
mayonnaise.
Ketchup over mayonnaise. They even have Maychup now, but that's not.
So the thing with the Mayo Chup is that there are like my kids. We have a bottle of Mayo Chup, and that's because my kids will put mayonnaise and ketchup on their hot dogs. I don't know why. It's not my jam. That's where you do that with ketchup and mustard. But like whatever, I'm not gonna hate on them for their food choices because Lord knows I don't have any idea.
Also, I will say I don't think Miracle Whip's the Midwest thing. I think the Midwest thing is ranch because we all love ranch here.
All right. Okay. Well, I mean, I like ranch too. Let's see here. Okay, the Mayo Chup on a burger is the right call because you can get a mayonnaise on the right. So anyway, welcome to Condiment, the EFG show condiment section.
Engaged family condiments.
Yeah, let's just not with that. Let's just not. So everybody, excuse me. We got one more last little tidbit of news coming, and this one less about the video games. It is Wizards of the Coast has announced Dungeons & Dragons Live, which is coming June 18th to the 20th. It is a whole bunch of live streams. The biggest thing is it's two parts. One is it's going to have a whole bunch of celebrities. They're going to play Dungeons & Dragons. They're going to have events, live streams, etc. That'll be fun. They're going to be raising money for charity. I'm guessing coronavirus relief related because that's what everything is doing right now, which makes sense. I hope I don't sound insincere about that. But the other piece is they're going to announce the adventure that's coming out later this year. And I do love me a good Dungeons & Dragons adventure. Yes, I do. So you can look for news from Engaged Family Gaming about that as we get closer. and also on the podcast about tabletop role-playing game that I have said that I am going to do over and over again, but because the Fire Nation is attacking, it's making it very hard to nail down my other co-hosts. But we are going to have a podcast that's going to come out at least once a month where we talk about tabletop role-playing games explicitly so that I can give everybody a little bit of a break. Probably going to do the same thing with Magic the Gathering also. So, and other collectible card games, so I can yammer about that without, clogging up the streams where we want to talk about the Nintendos. So everybody, I appreciate you guys coming in tonight and watching the EFG show. Jeff, would you believe me if I told you that we made it through a whole nother episode and we haven't
Made
been
it through
canceled?
another episode.
They haven't canceled us yet.
Nope.
They might be
Maybe
trying.
because we run the station, but
Yeah, we run the station. Like, literally, we cheat to win. It's straight up Eddie Guerrero style. Cheat to win. No one can stop us. Because also, we're talking about family games. Nobody else is doing that. So, everybody, thank you so much for watching. We will be back next week where we'll be talking about this Wholesome Direct, which I am so excited for more news about Ooblets. I cannot freaking wait. And so, yeah, you want to say something?
I was going to say, remember to play City Connection and share your thoughts when we are sharing our thoughts next week.
Yes, and we're also going to be publishing our list of all the games as a blog post that's going to be regularly pushed up to the top on EngageFamilyGaming.com. We might actually just pin it to the top of the front page just because we're going to be updating this for, I think there's 50, there's like 60 games on this list. So
there's over 80. So
we're going to be doing this for almost
the
2 years.
Year and a half.
Yeah.
And that's not counting any games who knows, maybe they're going to announce another 20 games.
I mean, listen, we're going to be doing this forever. So y'all better get ready. So everybody, you have a great night. We will see you next week. And until next time, don't forget
to get your family game on.
Bye, guys.
Bye.